So thanks again everyone. Just the last female of our second release going in. Wonderful to see them back here on Currawinga after almost 70 years extinct down here, and should have been here the whole time. My name's Kev Bradley and I'm CEO of the Save the Bilby Fund. Now, if I were to ask 10 people what's a bilby 20 years ago, I would doubt whether a fraction of that number would actually know what I was talking about. People thought bilbies were a mythical creature. A bilby is effectively the last of our arid bandicoot species. There were about 6 species of arid bandicoots when Europeans arrived in Australia. Sadly, the greater bilby is the only one left remaining. They're considered vulnerable throughout their range, but they are listed as endangered in Queensland because there's such a small remnant population remaining here. They used to occupy 70% of the Australian mainland, and now they occupy probably about 10 to 15% of that former range, so pretty catastrophic decline. Some people quote there could be as few as 10,000 bilbies left across their entire range. Their primary threats in the wild are thought to be predation by introduced animals, predominantly the red fox, the feral cat. These animals have evolved completely differently to Australia's wildlife. We've been isolated from the rest of the world for a long, long time now. So our animals really aren't cut out to be able to survive in the presence of such an evolved predator. I would briefly summarise the Save the Bilby Fund as an organisation that's 100% focus is doing exactly as the name suggests, to develop public awareness about bilbies and the plight of bilbies in the wild and save that species from extinction. Currawinga National Park was chosen for this project because bilbies thrive in this sort of environment. This large fenced area was constructed on Currawinga National Park. It's about 29 lineal kilometres in length. It was constructed from 1999 through until 2001, so the fence is our primary barrier. We've had our setbacks, but I've found that rewarding as well. For every problem that's been posed, we've managed to come up with a solution. And after 20 years, we're still here. If we enact the metapopulation management plan that we've developed, we will have enough bilbies to ensure the genetic viability of bilbies for the next 100 years. We can save the bilby, we just need the resources and support. We've always had a belief that if people can't develop an empathy for an animal, we've got next to Buckley's chance of saving them in the wild. They really need to understand what an animal is and why it's important before they're going to help contribute to saving it. I was lucky enough to enjoy a multitude of animals that were in this landscape when I was a boy that sadly my son doesn't get to appreciate at the same level, and his children worse again unless something pretty dramatic happens to assist our native species that are really in a very precarious position in the wild. We really need to support groups like Save the Bilby Fund. I actually aim to get to the point where I will be redundant, where there won't be a need for somebody like me or a fund like the Bilby Fund to save the bilbies. The bilbies should be saved and looking after themselves with a community, meaning the entire Australian community, that embrace and value this country and the species that we share it with. They've been here for 15 or 20 million years. They should not go extinct on my watch.